Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. And today I want to film a different kind of video. So I'm just going to get straight into it because if not I'm going to be ages. I'm currently taking part in something called the Challenge, and some of you may know it as NCS, and I just wanted to give an honest opinion of how I'm finding it. So right now I'm currently doing it. I'm in phase 3. So it's like the final 2 weeks, and I know that there are so many videos out there like that are sponsored or that are like paid to tell you all about it and what they think. And I know that some people have done it but have filmed a video but haven't even gone. But I'm currently doing it, and they gave us this t-shirt and it says "Say Yes," and it's actually a pretty cute t-shirt. And I just honestly wanted to film this video to help others to decide whether they should do it or not. So yeah, I've made like quite a few notes and stuff to talk about what you should bring, and yeah, just like little bits and bobs. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. So to begin with, the first week is when you do the outdoor activities. So in my group, I'm in wave number 2, and there's like loads of different waves in your borough. Our wave was in the Foundry Mountain Centre, so it's past Birmingham, so I think it was in the Peak District. And ours was camping for 4 nights, so this is different for most groups. So some do camping for 4 nights, some will stay in like dorms, like you know PGL, you would like sleep in dorms, like in bunk beds, and some you do 3 nights dorms, 1 night camping. So it just depends on where you are. So we did camping, and honestly I found that really hard because of the weather. Like the weather was awful for us 2 weeks ago. It was like raining, windy, so it was really hard sleeping in a tent. And unfortunately my friend's bag got really wet, so just be careful when you go, and if you're camping, position your bag where you know it won't get wet, because her stuff got wet, and obviously that's not nice, especially in somewhere where it's cold. You don't want that. So yeah, I would just say for camping, make sure you bring waterproof and loads of warm clothes, because some people packed for the wrong type, so you don't want that to be you, because you want to make sure you're warm all the time. So on the first day, so now this is like the very beginning, you meet at a venue, and around like 9 o'clock, and obviously this is so nerve-wracking. I was literally shaking because I was like, I didn't know what to expect. But you get there at 9 o'clock and you sign in, and then when you enter you get like a label, and it will say the team you're in. This team you'll be in for the next 3 weeks, like your whole challenge. So obviously it depends on your team whether you could probably have a great time or you might not have such a great time compared to others. So I was in Team Reese with 11 other people, and luckily I was with my best friend, so we did put our names down together, but apparently sometimes you don't get it, so we were lucky to be in the same team. And at this time you're very nervous, because I know I didn't know what to expect at all. But you sit in your group, so I remember there was like 5 or 6 teams, and you're just scattered around in the venue. So we were in the corner, and as soon as we saw our senior mentor, we introduced ourselves in front of everyone. We stood up. Just in your group you said a little bit about who you were, but if you were really nervous you didn't have to, you could just say your name. So in our group, we figured out by like yesterday, we are the loudest group there. So yeah, it's quite funny to be fair. But our senior mentor was really good, and he did a lot of games that already improved our skills, like within the first 10 minutes of talking to each other, playing new games, and just helping to be more comfortable around each other, because obviously you're going to be with these people for 3 weeks. You need to make sure you can trust them and that you can have fun with them. So our group already bonded really well in that half an hour, I'd say. And then our main leader, who controls us for the next 3 weeks, like he's the main person, he introduced himself and talked to us about the program. So I remember like he was really funny because he showed us the program, and he was really nice. And then we played a group together as a wave, so all 60 of us were playing games together. That ensured that we would get along with other people from other groups, because although you're mainly in your smaller groups, you will be spending a lot of time with other people, but not as much. But it was nice to be able to do that. So that was good, and we were obviously all really nervous, but we were able to talk with each other and communicate. And then that was when we got on our coach, and the coach journey was pretty long. It was about 3.5 hours to 4, including a stopover. But me and my friend, we just slept quite a while because we were both really tired. And then we were just talking with other people, getting to know them, and we were just talking basically for most of it. And when we got to the Foundry Mountain Centre, it was raining. Honestly, like, that was the worst, because we had to take our suitcases out when it was fully raining, so windy, and I didn't wear my hiking boots in the journey. I wore my trainers, so my trainers got really dirty. So if I were you, if you're going camping, even if it's not raining, wear your hiking boots, because you will no doubt be going through mud. So, and I couldn't change because obviously it was raining, so I was like, I'll just have to change later. So then we got into our tents and we just had to sort bits and bobs out, and that's when we went to the common room area. So there were the facilities where, like, showers and a massive, like, not massive, like a hall type thing, like a living room, where we all just stayed, and then there's like a dining room as well for us to eat dinner. And that's when everyone was talking, and then we ate dinner. But what I would say about dinner is that it wasn't the best. So I'm vegetarian, so I already knew from the start that it might not be as good. It might be quite limited. So the first day we had spaghetti and corn mince, so it's like a substitute for mince. The mince was like lovely, that was good, but they had overcooked the spaghetti by like an hour, so it was like all soggy, all like mushed up together, so that wasn't very good. But apart from that, throughout the week it wasn't very tasty, so I was quite limited. So luckily beforehand I had taken loads of snacks on the journey, but because I was sleeping I didn't actually eat a lot of it. So throughout the week I was able to have loads of snacks. And for lunch we had to make our own lunch, and well, no, we didn't actually have to make it, actually that was the second week, sorry. We were given lunch, so we were getting a sandwich, but I honestly hated the sandwich because the cheese they gave was disgusting. Honestly, like, oh, I felt so sick from it. But I think everyone didn't like the sandwiches. So one main tip is please bring your snacks and water bottles and drinks, because you will honestly need it. And they do provide tea and coffee, but our leader, because we as a wave decided not to clean up, which I think we actually did, he took away the kettles for a day, which probably was the hardest thing, because the activities you do, you get so tired from them, and because it's cold you obviously want tea or coffee or hot chocolate, and they take it away. They do provide it all, but they just took it away, so that was quite hard. But then he gave it back, so it's okay. But just make sure you have a water bottle, because they do have a water fountain, so you can just keep refilling it, and you'll probably want to have that. So definitely have a water bottle. And yeah, so throughout that week for camping we did different activities. So there was team bonding, so we did this on our funny enough on our third day, where we just had to do loads of team building challenges, which are really hard but so fun. I think you will find it fun because you don't know them that well, so you're still like bonding at that time. Even though it's your third day, you still don't know each other that well, but you'll still have such a laugh, honestly, like, because they're so hard. You're trying to work together to beat the challenge, but we didn't actually beat it, to be fair. Like, one of them we just couldn't do at all, but it was really funny. So you'll enjoy it, I promise you. Like, it will be fun. And one day we did a 10k hike. This sounds horrible, honestly. It sounds like the worst thing ever. If you do DOV, you will be like, oh my god, I can't do it. Honestly, it's nothing like DOV. Like, although you plan your route and stuff, it's so casual, so chilled. You don't need to plan it like properly, if you get what I mean. And you obviously don't have a massive backpack, you just have a small bag with your lunch, and that's it really. And it's so chilled, you're taking loads of breaks, and that was so fun. We all just listened to music, we saw some really nice scenery. There was one bit where we were going through like cows and sheep and stuff, which was funny because we all had to run really quickly to go past them. And yeah, we honestly had such a great time. Like, I feel like that helped our group bond even more, because that was on the second day. I'm like going backwards, sorry, but that's how I just remembered it. And we all had to do a little part of the route, so you can work in pairs. So me and my best friend, we started off first, and we did the first 40 minutes of the walk, which was really fun because I never thought I could do it, but I did it with my friend and we had such a good time because we were like leading everyone, so it was so fun. And then for lunch we just stopped over, and there were like shops and stuff like further away that we could have gone to, but we just chose not to. But we did manage to get a hot chocolate in the end, so that was good. And the first day for us, which was really scary, was actually doing rock climbing on actual rocks and abseiling. So because the weather was bad, it meant that there was more of a danger because obviously it was slippery. But honestly, that was the scariest thing I have ever done. Like, I have a fear of heights, so doing that made me feel so proud of myself that I actually did it. Like, I abseiled down a wall. Like, it was pretty high. Like, some people were like, oh, it wasn't high, but I think for me it was pretty high, especially because I was gonna like back out last minute, but I didn't. So you're going through so what we did first was we went through like caves and stuff. So it's called weaving, and you'll have to like help each other get through because they're obviously really tight spaces. So if you are claustrophobic, you need to be careful because obviously if you're inside a cave in your middle, you're gonna have to get out one way or another. And one of my friends, like, he got really scared, so luckily we were all there to support each other, but it was still quite hard for him. And you're just having to go through like little ditches and stuff like that, so that was really cool. And because that was on our first day, our team bonded over that so much, honestly. Like, we had to help each other get through the caves, the abseiling, we were also supportive. The rock climbing I did was also quite scary because you're not actually attached to anything, so it's just you and your team going up or going down. So we all had to work together, hold each other's hands, and I think because you've got no trust within each other because you've just met each other, having that day of rock climbing and abseiling really pulls you together because no matter what, you're gonna have to trust them. So that was really good. And I'm quite lucky because our leader, called Dan, he's really friendly and really nice, and he's quite young, so he can relate to us. So he was able to push us as well, but yet realise how nerve-wracking it is for us. So yeah, I'm really, really happy that we have such a good leader. And yeah, that was basically just the camping week. And in the evenings you have like wave time, so that's when all 50 or 60 of you get together to do different challenges. And you also have evening sessions with just your group where you reflect on the day and you do like 1 or 2 games just within your group. So we did like different thinking challenges, and yeah, that was quite good. And as you have project managers every day that you choose, you have to plan different activities as well in the evening. So I remember I planned a game where you work in pairs and you just have to do like different things. And then in the wave time we had to do like singing competitions around against each other. And so yeah, that was really fun. And yeah, overall the first camping week was great. I feel like you will be outside your comfort zone, but when you finish those 4 days you will feel so much more confident, and you would literally have had the best time ever. Like, I wish I could do that again. Apart from sleeping in tents, everything else was perfect. So yeah, it was really good. And then we had 2 days off, so then we did the university week. So we did our university week in Brunel, so it's in Uxbridge, so it's not too far from us. And this is where you would cook your own food, and you would work together with your flatmates to cook your own food, clean, and do little things like that. But we got split up. Me and my best friend and this other girl got split up from our actual team. So it was like girls in one area, boys in the other, but there were 6 girls in our team, 3 and 3, so we got split up. So we were in another team because they had spare rooms in their flat, so we went in there. But at first it was quite scary because we don't know them as well. So on the first night it was a bit weird, but apart from that, you're bonding really well because you're cooking together, and it's actually really nice having it with other people rather than just your same group, because the whole day you'll be with your team. So in the evening it's nice to do it with other people, and you just cook your own food. But where do you get this food from? So in the first camping week, on the last day, you will decide as a group. They'll give you a booklet and you tick off all the food that you want, and you have a budget. So our budget was £90 because there was 9 people in our room, and they told us the prices and how many like things you'll get in each type of food. So if I got like a loaf of bread, they'd tell me how many slices in each loaf, and we would have to work out, which was really fun. Like, it was so interesting to do that. And we just chose the different meals that we would have every day, so like spaghetti bolognese, fajitas, pita bread like with like tomato on top and mozzarella, so just little things like that, and orange juice, tea, coffee. So we just had to work out how much we needed to buy. And so, you know, within the university week in the evening you would cook, and yeah, that was so fun, just cooking. And it was just so nice to realise what the uni life would be like and how it would be to live on your own. And the accommodation was so nice. I didn't realise how nice it was. Like, we had an ensuite, but the room was spacious. You had loads of wardrobe space. The bathroom was pretty decent. The bed was comfortable. So yeah, it was pretty good. And during the day, we had to travel back to another college. So we didn't stay at Brunel, we went to another college and we did our activities there. So on the first day we did a public speaking challenge. That was so scary, but honestly you will feel so much more confident after that. So they brought speakers, like the people who work for the company, I can't remember which one, but they came in and they gave us a talk and we played different challenges, and they helped us try to improve our confidence, whether that was like if you had difficulty with your posture when speaking, or when actually speaking you like pause and you don't know what to say, or just little things like that that could really make a difference when giving a speech. So that was really interesting. And then we went off into our different teams and we would play a few more of those speaking games, and then we had to prepare a speech that about anything you're passionate about, and we had to perform it in front of our like group of around 10 or 11 people, and we would all vote to say who was the best speech and who should go up to do it in front of everyone else. So the 5, like I think there were 5 teams, and the 5 best people, one from each team, would perform and compete against each other in front of like all 60 of us. So I managed to win from my group. I don't know how, because I get so nervous when talking about random things. Honestly, like, I didn't know how I did that, and I honestly did not want to do it, but then doing it and made me feel so happy, and so like I actually was so proud of myself. Like, I remember being so nerve-wracking about to go on that stage where we were meant to perform it, and being like, I can't do this, I can't do it. But then I literally was like, I can do it. Like, I had learned so much from that day already that I was like, I can use all the things I learned and just use it in my speech. Like, for example, giving eye contact. Like, I still got this image in my head, but I gave eye contact to everyone, like the judges, and I remember walking around, so it wasn't just me like standing still. And yeah, and then I ended up winning the whole thing. Like, that was crazy. Like, although like there was just like the prize of chocolates, the prize for me was honestly me doing that. Like, for me, winning for me was going up on that stage and actually performing it. Like, I am still so happy I did that. Like, before I joined NTS, my confidence levels were up here, but you can't see that. Now my confidence levels have improved so much, whether that's talking to people or working better as a team. Like, the way my group supported me, because they knew I was nervous, was unbelievable. Like, in the room when I was just practicing before I was going to go, I was obviously struggling with my nerves. I honestly was shaking, and we just worked together. They helped me, and my team leader was helping me with my nerves. And yeah, it was just the best thing ever. And then I can just remember everyone just coming up to me after like all the other teams and groups saying my speech was really good, and that just, obviously for me, that was just the best thing to hear, and that really did put a smile on my face. Honestly, I was so happy with that. And yeah, some other activities we did was in your different groups, so you'll have different names. So I'm Team Reese, which is drama, so our skill was drama. So you have to perform a little piece for drama in the showcase event that would happen a few days later. So we got a practitioner in who taught us like drama skills, and we're doing little performances with our group and just improving our skills. And then we went to visit an elderly home, which was amazing. Like, honestly, it just changes your perspective of life. Like, seeing those people was just the best thing ever, because talking to them about their story and how they got through their life and how they are today, what's changed them, what they loved about life, what they didn't. It just really put perspective, and we were asking them for advice. And for some of them, obviously they were upset to be in a home like that. They just feel like they couldn't do anything. So obviously it was quite sad to hear that, but it was still nice in some ways to hear what they would think, because honestly, I had never thought about ever visiting an elderly home before. Like, it never crossed my mind. But going there, you just realise how much there is you don't know about life and about other people. Like, obviously because of the difference of age gap as well. And so on the first day at the elderly home, we got to know their stories, and some had dementia. So we were able to talk to those patients with dementia, and that was quite hard because obviously they're asking you repeated questions. And for me, because it was the first time I had talked to a person with dementia, it was hard for me to react in a way that I didn't know how to talk about. So I was a bit like, oh, okay, what do I say? So I just kept repeating myself. But you do get used to the thing, like when I talk to other people with dementia, you could just realise the repetitiveness of the questions. So I feel like that did also improve my confidence, because I never thought I could talk to people who are older than me but who are suffering from an illness, because I normally get really scared when I talk to someone. Like, I get really anxious. So when I did that, I was so happy I was able to do that. And the day after, before we went there, we planned like loads of different songs and dances and games, so we performed it, which was so fun, just seeing a smile on their faces. Like, seeing them smile was just so nice for us to be able to show that we made them smile, because they were able to sing with us. Like, some were dancing from their seats if they couldn't move, and you could just see them all laughing. And there were these 3 wonderful women who couldn't speak English, and they speak Gujarati, and I speak Gujarati. So they weren't there on the first day, but on the second day I saw them, and I could just see that they weren't able to interact as much with other people, because majority of the people there were I think were probably white. So obviously 3 of them found it hard to communicate with everyone else. And so I just spoke to them in Gujarati. I was singing with them in like the Indian songs from the Indian Bollywood movies, and they really enjoyed it because they were doing like the dance moves, and it was just nice to be able to talk to them, because they were telling me in Gujarati how they have found it hard living in a home like that, because there's obviously a language barrier between one another, so for them to communicate is quite hard. So that obviously made me slightly upset, but it was nice to talk to them about it. And she was just talking to me about her background story, because for example, one of them came from Uganda, then moved to India, and then came over here to live. And yeah, it was just nice to hear about their story and what they've gone through. And another lady was talking to me about how she was a child during the World War II, and she was talking about how she was so excited at that time because she didn't realise what was going on, and now she realised the damage it had on her and her family. So it's just hearing from a different perspective, because obviously we learn about World War II from books or videos, and being able to talk to a person, like this is the first time, about someone who was there when all of this was going on, was such a weird thing to hear, but also puts your life in perspective, and it shows how amazing life can be and the full of surprises there are. And yeah, it was just amazing. Like, that's why I'm so happy I did NCS, because honestly, like, before I went, I was like, I never want to do NCS. Like, I didn't want to go. I was like, I'm really nervous. I literally was so close to backing out. But doing it with your best friend, or like with a friend, I think really does help, because you're together, but yet you're both able to make new friends. So honestly, I would just recommend NCS. So I'm only just finished the second week, so I still have 2 more weeks, and we had the showcase event 2 days ago, so we had to perform our drama piece in front of everyone, and there were just like little other performances from different groups. And now the third phase is about community action, which I don't really know much about, but I just wanted to film this video as a starter to those who are not sure of whether to do NCS. And my honest opinion is, go for it. Honestly, like, there are loads of videos saying yes, it's amazing, yes, and it is amazing, and yes, it is amazing. Like, as many videos out there that are sponsored that say yes, it's amazing, like, I truly agree with it. Like, I never thought in a million years I would have done abseiling, rock climbing, make new friends and do public speaking challenges. I never thought I would do that, even visit the elderly home. Yet doing that NCS just made me do all of them things without even realising. So I think doing something like this, which is out of your comfort zone, really does help. And also, you're not going to be doing anything else in summer. Like, summer is 7 weeks. This is 3 weeks out of your life, and it's only, if you think about it, 4 days each week, so you still have a lot of time anyway. So I just feel like NCS is such a great thing to do in summer, especially after your GCSEs, where you've done all your exams, you've got no stress, well, apart from results day, and like, it's so nice to be able to talk to new people, because I was talking to other people about, even though exams are finished, just to talk about what they felt about exams. And even though it's over, it's still nice to share what you felt about exams. And I have made so many new friends. Like, some of my friends I didn't even realise live near me, and it's like, you wouldn't have thought that from NCS you can make close friends from nearby. And our groups are really close. We've got a group chat. We're going to try and do like meetups every so often. So I would just say, if you have a chance, just try and do it. Like, go for NCS. Like, it honestly will improve your confidence. You'll feel so much better about yourself, and I would just say it's just a way to have fun, like, with your group. Like, the amount of laughter I have had in the 2 weeks is unbelievable. I've cried with laughter so much from our group, because our group is so loud, so close, that I just couldn't stop laughing, to the point where I would get like, they would be like, you need to stop laughing. I just couldn't handle it. So yeah, I really hoped you enjoyed this video. I'm just going to see if I've got anything else that I've missed. Also, I did forget, for the university week, I would say please try and bring your own snacks, tea and coffee and sugar, because even though we were provided with it, we didn't have enough. So for someone who loves tea and coffee and sugar, like in your tea, just bring your own, because it's best to make sure you have it rather than struggling without it, because you won't be able to go to shops. So yeah, just buy that. And when you do join, you'll receive like a summer guide, which will tell you all the clothes and stuff. But yeah, it's quite it's basically just, for the second week, just wear what you would feel comfortable in, because you'll be doing a lot of travelling, walking and stuff, like for the university week. And yeah, that's it really. And I hope you enjoyed this really long video, but I'd rather rambled than just be short and snappy, because I just wanted to give an honest opinion of how I felt about NCS, and tips and advice, and what you'll expect and what you do. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this different kind of video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!